Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're exploring some true accounts, personal stories of deeply unsettling encounters. Things that really tap into primal fears.
Yeah, these aren't just ghost stories, they're first-hand experiences.
Exactly. And our mission isn't just to, tell these stories. We want to look at what makes them so unnerving. Why do they stick with you?
And what maybe they tell us about, well, human vulnerability, the things we can't easily explain.
We've gathered these narratives directly from people who share them online. So they're raw, unvarnished recollections.
Ready to dive in.
Let's do it. First up, we're going to a place that feels almost designed for dread. A remote, isolated cabin.
The classic setup.
Right. This one's on a big island on Vilon Lake, way up in northern Minnesota. Super remote, no city lights, nothing.
Just woods and water.
And the cabin has these big windows, but no curtains. So you've got this clear view out into the darkness, the woods, the lake.
Wide open.
Our storytellers are the narrator, Ryan, Kevin, and Tommy. High school juniors. First trip away without parents.
Right, that mix of freedom and maybe a little bit of unease already.
So third night there, they've had a campfire, maybe a few drinks, and they hear a splash out on the lake.
Okay.
They look out, and in the middle of the lake, maybe, 3/4 of a football field away, they see this.
Yeah.
Well, this head.
A head, just floating there.
That's how it's described.
Yeah.
And the details are what make it really creepy.
Go on.
It had long black hair, really pale skin, and the face was sort of indistinct, blob-like almost.
Yeah.
But it was staring right at them.
Staring, okay.
Now, their first thought, tried to rationalize it. Maybe it's a loon. They're common. They're black and white. Drift at night.
Makes sense. A logical first step.
But here's the thing. It wasn't moving at all. Just stiff, like a board. No ripples around it. Nothing.
Very odd. Loons move, water moves.
Exactly. So that rational explanation starts to feel thin.
Yeah.
Later that night, the narrator goes outside alone for a moment and sees it again, the head. But now it's closer, maybe 30 yards away.
Closer.
Yeah. And this time, they can make out a nose on the pale face. Still staring.
Okay, that's not a loon.
No. They get this wave of dread, run back inside, get the others.
Good call. Safety in numbers.
They all go outside. And they all see it. Still there. Still stationary. Just looking up at them.
Wow. Group confirmation. That rules out imagination.
They try again, Maybe it's just a log. But it just doesn't fit. It hasn't moved in hours. How is that possible on a lake?
It isn't really. The attempt to explain it away almost makes it scarier, doesn't it? Because the explanation fails.
Totally. So they go back inside, feeling really uneasy. Hours pass. Middle of the night now. It's gone. Vanished. And there's this huge sense of relief.
I bet. Finally.
But it doesn't last. While trying to sleep, the narrator hears noises. Outside.
What kind of noises?
Boot clicks. Distinct clicks, like someone pacing back and forth on the wooden deck right outside the cabin.
Pacing. Oh, that's chilling.
It goes on for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Methodical. Then suddenly, 2 quick steps up the deck stairs.
Towards the door.
Towards the door, yeah. And then immediately, the sound of someone sprinting away down a path leading from the cabin into the woods.
Wow. So from distant anomaly to something right there, and then gone.
And this is where it gets really terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Just a minute after the footsteps fade, Ryan, one of the friends, comes out of his room, freaked out.
Understandably.
He's saying they have to leave.
Yeah.
Right now. Immediately.
What did he see?
He says, while he was turning over in bed, he saw someone peeking in. Top right corner of his window.
Peeking in.
Yeah. He saw one eye, pale white skin, and long black hair.
The same description as the thing in the lake.
Exactly. But the window, the implication hit them later. The face was so high up in the window frame. Like it'd have to be someone 8 feet tall.
Right.
Or standing on something.
Or floating.
Yeah. That's the thought that just breaks everything.
Yeah.
That impossible height.
That's the point where your brain just can't process it anymore. The rules are broken. What do?
They bolt, grab their stuff, run out. And as they go down the stairs off the deck, they see them. Footprints.
Footprints.
Fresh footprints in the dirt. Leading away down that path into the woods.
Yeah.
Where they heard the sprinting.
Confirmation. Physical evidence.
They drive away as fast as they can. About 10 miles down the road, Ryan just breaks down, crying, asking, what the F did I see?
The trauma is immediate and profound.
Yeah. The friend's dad went back later, found the footprints still there. Ryan apparently needed help sleeping for weeks, refuses to ever go back. The narrator won't go back either.
You can't blame them. It's fascinating, though, how quickly rationalization collapses when you have multiple senses, multiple people confirming something deeply wrong. The fear becomes almost contagious.
And the scars are real. That story just sticks with you. Okay, let's shift gears. From that kind of wilderness terror to something maybe sneakier, closer to home.
Okay.
This next one happens in a seemingly normal setting, a childhood park.
Yeah.
Back in 1986.
Parks should be safe places, right? Especially for kids.
You'd think so. It's described as a long rectangular park, kind of hidden between streets. Path, trees, garden, a fenced play area, near an old chapel that's now a school.
Got it.
The narrator is 7 years old, playing alone on the swings. Dad's nearby, walking the dog.
Okay, so not completely alone. Parent nearby.
Right. But then, this car pulls up. A burnt orange, 70s style car.
Yeah.
A woman gets out.
Right.
The narrator remembers her having a close smile. And something about that smile just felt off, uncomfortable, even at 7.
Kid intuition, it's powerful.
Definitely. And the expert here can probably point out the red flags immediately.
Well, let's hear what happened. What did the woman do?
She approaches the kid on the swing, no kids with her, car door left wide open, engine running.
Okay, yeah. Door open, engine running that screams, quick getaway. Big red flag.
She asks, "Are you here alone? Then perhaps your daddy forgot about you and went home. If you're lost, I can take you to the police station."
Whoa. Classic abduction lures. Trying to isolate, create doubt, offer false help. Very dangerous.
The narrator, even at 7, points towards their dad, but keeps eye contact with the woman and keeps the car in their peripheral vision. Smart kid.
Very smart. Maintaining awareness, not breaking eye contact. That's instinct kicking in.
Luckily, just then, the family dog, Oscar, starts barking. Then Dad calls Oscar's name. He's close.
Ah, the interruption. Perfect timing.
The narrator jumps off the swing, runs straight to Dad. The woman sees Dad, immediately turns, runs back to her car, and speeds off.
Textbook escape when confronted.
The narrator remembers Dad's fists were clenched. He looked angry, but also scared. He picked the narrator up, carried them all the way home, didn't say much.
That mix of anger and fear in the parent speaks volumes.
But the really chilling part comes later. Much later. 10 years later, Dad finally tells the narrator what he saw as the car drove away.
What was it?
He said when the car was driving off, there was a man in the back seat. He looked at me, he looked me square in the eyes and smiled.
A man in the back seat, smiling.
Yeah. Dad described it as a horrid, spiteful smile. He said it scared him badly. He knew right then they were trying to take the narrator. And that smile, it was like the man was letting him know how close they'd gotten.
Wow, that adds a whole other layer of calculated menace. The unseen accomplice, the psychological taunt.
Dad admitted he was so fixated on that smile, he didn't even think to get the license plate. The family moved away about a year after the incident.
Understandable. That kind of near miss, especially with that chilling confirmation from the man in the back.
Yeah.
It fundamentally changes your sense of security. It shows how threats can hide in plain sight in the most ordinary places.
Absolutely unsettling. Okay, story 3. Another potential abduction, but this one feels even more calculated.
More planned.
Yeah, it feels like it. This takes place in a rural holler. Basically a dirt or gravel road, heavily wooded, out in the country.
Isolated.
Very. The narrator is 10 or 11, walking with their little sister as their routine. A 10-minute walk down this holler to the bus stop. Dark mornings.
Okay, a regular pattern in an isolated spot. Vulnerable.
One morning, they get near the end of the holler where it meets the main road. And this black SUV just barrels in like a bat out of hell, slams on the brakes, maybe 15 feet in front of them.
Ooh, aggressive arrival.
Man jumps out, all black clothes, ski mask on, and he starts running straight towards them.
Ski mask. Okay, no ambiguity there. This is hostile.
And the timing. The narrator realizes later, the school bus was still a few stops away. There was this perfect little window.
A gap in time. They knew the schedule.
Seems like it. The narrator grabs the little sister, turns, and they just run back towards their house as fast as they can.
Smart move. Don't freeze, just flee.
As they're running, they hear the SUV screech away, go in the other direction, just as they hear the bus pulling up to the stop.
Perfect timing again. They missed their window, aborted, chillingly precise.
Police were called, school was notified, but, nothing ever came of it. No leads.
Often the case, unfortunately.
But looking back as an adult, the narrator is convinced it was planned. The location, that hidden holler, the timing, knowing the routine, the bus schedule, hitting that exact gap, and the preparation, the ski mask.
It absolutely sounds planned. The level of detail suggests observation, surveillance.
So what does that do to you? Knowing someone might have been watching you, learning your patterns, waiting for that moment.
It completely shatters your sense of safety, even in familiar territory. It proves vulnerability isn't just about being alone in a strange place. It can be about being predictable in a place you thought was safe. Someone turned your routine into a weapon against you. That's deeply disturbing.
Yeah, the idea of being watched like that. Okay, let's shift again. This time, the threat isn't sudden. It builds over time in a professional setting.
Workplace encounters can be tricky. Power dynamics, professional boundaries.
Exactly. The narrator works in the service industry, beauty, body treatments. And they get this client, early 20s, described as a very strange, very creepy client. A rich kid who spent all of his mom's money.
Okay, setting the scene. What made him creepy initially?
Little things. He always wanted the latest possible appointments. He'd bring weird books, like about lucid dreaming. He'd strip down to just a towel, even for treatments that didn't need it. Just off. The whole staff agreed he was a complete weirdo.
Boundary pushing right from the start, testing the water.
Yeah. He stopped coming for a while, then called to restart, remembers everything about the narrator, apologizes for being rude before, even though he wasn't particularly rude, just weird. Then admits he has a huge crush.
Crossing professional lines immediately upon return.
For a bit, a coworker is there during his appointments, but eventually, the narrator ends up alone with him for these late sessions.
Isolation. That increases the risk.
And his behavior escalates, tries to dig into the narrator's personal life, constantly complimenting their body. Their looks narrator tells him it's inappropriate, but he keeps doing it. Often seems high on drugs. This is the weirdest thing.
This is a pattern. It's grooming, essentially. Pushing boundaries, creating discomfort, making the professional space feel personal and unsafe. It's psychological manipulation.
He comes to a head one day. He shows up wearing a suit, which is unusual. During the treatment, he starts with compliments again, but then the conversation takes a really dark turn.
How so?
He starts asking the narrator their feelings about women being raped and murdered. He says women are horrible. And while talking about rape and murder, he would apparently laugh, then try to stifle it.
Oh my God, that's not just creepy, that's actively threatening. That's psychopathic talk.
The narrator is terrified, understandably, blacks out some details. It was so upsetting. As soon as the treatment is over, the narrator calls him a cab, doesn't wait for him to ask, wants him gone.
Taking control back, trying to end the encounter.
But before he leaves, he looks at the narrator and says, "I find it adorable that you're so vulnerable," with, quote, the coldest look in his eyes and a slight smirk.
Chilling.
Wow.
Weaponizing their fear. That's predatory.
Narrator feels their heart pounding, sweating, almost crying. Then he pulls the classic move, "Oh, I think I forgot something in the room," and just stands there, waiting for the narrator to go get it.
They're up.
Exactly. Narrator recognizes it instantly. Late at night, buildings empty, streets are dead, easy to be trapped. Narrator secretly grabs a pair of scissors.
Good. Self-defense awareness.
Oh.
So what happens?
Narrator refuses the bait, doesn't go back into the room. He eventually leaves. Narrator locks the door immediately, runs to their car, and just breaks down, literally crying the hardest I've ever cried in my adult life.
That visceral reaction tells you everything about the level of fear. It wasn't just discomfort, it was perceived mortal danger.
He called the workplace for days after, trying to apologize through a coworker. Narrator refused to talk to him, told the boss everything. He was banned.
Thank goodness. But that experience, the intuition about the trap, the sheer terror generated by his words, and that final look, it shows how psychological threats can be just as terrifying, maybe even more so than immediate physical ones, and how crucial listening to that gut feeling is.
Absolutely. Okay, one last story. This one brings us back to a rural setting, but with a different kind of unexpected encounter.
Yeah.
This happened to the narrator's mom about 3 years ago. The family has an apple orchard, generational thing, on a mountainside. Thick woods border it. Small town, neighbors are mostly family.
Okay, familiar territory, family land.
It's a sunny Saturday. Mom's riding her horse, heading up towards the woods. Usually goes to an old scout's cabin up there. Today, she takes a path near her great-uncle's property by a little pond.
Picturesque setting.
She looks over and sees someone, a figure, kind of hunched over, shuffling along the tree line near the pond.
Okay, who does she think it is?
Her first thought is, John Boy, an employee, apparently eccentric but harmless.
A familiar face, perhaps.
But then she remembers, John Boy's away for the weekend. It's not him.
Uh-oh. So who is it?
The figure comes out onto the path. It's a young man, His face is covered with rags. He's bare-chested. His skin is pale, covered in scratches, sores.
Oh, wow, that's alarming.
And she sees it. He's dragging an axe.
An axe. Okay, immediate danger signal.
And there's a rope tied around his waist, attached to a duffel bag, dragging behind him.
This is getting very strange and very scary. What does the mom do?
She calls out, are you all right? He just gives these faint, incoherent grumbles. Doesn't look at her. Then he lets out this loud, guttural yell.
Primal scream. Not good.
Mom's spooked now. Tells him, get off the property.
Reaction.
But then she realizes which way he's heading. Towards her great aunt and uncle's house. They're outside gardening.
Oh, no. Okay.
So she hightails it on her horse over there, warns them, get inside, call the police.
Good thinking. Warn the potential victims.
Great aunt goes inside to call 911, but the great uncle, he apparently says, I'm going to go talk to him. Gets in his truck and drives up towards the man.
Bold move. Maybe not the safest, but bold. What happens?
The uncle pulls up, asks him, are you lost? The man just mumbles, Dad in woods.
Dead in woods. Okay.
Uncle asks his name. The man says, Dad always liked animals. Happy with animals now, better.
That's deeply unsettling. Disconnected. What does it even mean?
Exactly. It paints a picture of someone really detached from reality, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. How do you even process a threat like that when it seems rooted in profound mental distress?
It's incredibly difficult. The unpredictability is terrifying. You don't know the rules of engagement because they aren't operating within normal reality. So the police arrive.
Yeah. Police come. The man is gone. Vanished back into the woods, presumably. They search. No sign of him. And thankfully, nobody found. No dad in the woods.
A relief, in a way, but still leaves so many questions.
But they do find something in the woods near where he was seen.
What?
Multiple places where small animals like hares and skunks had been, well, hacked up and half-eaten.
Oh, wow. That points to something really disturbed, primal. Survivalist, maybe, but violently so.
The resolution, or partial resolution, comes a week later. Local paper reports a mentally disturbed young man was found wandering near a highway. He'd been missing for 3 months from a halfway house, had stopped taking his medication.
Ah, so it likely was him. A mental health crisis manifesting in this really frightening, unpredictable way out in the woods. It really highlights that intersection of illness, vulnerability, and potential danger. It blurs lines in a really uncomfortable way.
It really does.
Yeah.
So looking back at all these stories, they're so different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Remote woods, childhood park, workplace, family orchard, decades apart sometimes.
Totally different circumstances.
Yet there's this common thread, right? That feeling of profound unease, violation, sometimes outright terror, whether the threat was, supernatural, human malice, or mental illness.
Absolutely. And connecting them, you see patterns in the human response. That constant battle between trying to rationalize and accepting the inexplicable. Fear often comes from that gap, what you see versus what you know shouldn't be possible, or what's implied but not stated.
Like the height of the figure at the window, or the man smiling from the back seat.
Exactly. And notice how often intuition plays a key role. That gut feeling, something's wrong. It saved the narrator in the park, maybe saved the narrator with the creepy client.
Yeah, that feeling you can't quite explain, but you know you need to act on.
And the lasting impact is undeniable. These aren't just campfire tales people tell for fun. Ryan's trauma, the narrator crying in the car, the family moving. These encounters leave deep psychological scars. They change how people see the world, their safety, their trust.
It really underscores how fragile that line is between the ordinary world and something terrifyingly other.
It does. These stories remind us that boundary can be breached unexpectedly, anywhere, anytime. And the struggle to make sense of it afterwards is part of the enduring trauma.
Well, we hope exploring these accounts, unsettling as they are, has offered you maybe not just a chill, but some food for thought about these hidden experiences.
Because understanding these narratives is part of understanding the breadth of human experience, even the darker corners.
Yeah. Remember, knowledge isn't always comfortable, but it's valuable.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. So many of these stories end with unanswered questions, don't they? What was the thing in the lake? What happened to the man with the axe? It makes you wonder, what's truly more terrifying? What you actually see, or the mystery you can never fully solve?
That's a great question to ponder. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. We really encourage you to think about these stories, what they mean.
Stay safe out there.
And if you found this valuable, if it made you think, please do like, share, and subscribe to the Horror Docs channel. We'll have more for you soon.